Imagine this. You're at the birthday party. The music is playing, people are laughing, dancing, everyone is taking pictures. And in the midst of all of this noise, you feel completely invisible. Now imagine something different. It's a Saturday morning. You're alone in your room or in your balcony, sipping a cup of coffee or tea. The weather is calm, no noise. You're not in the crowd, yet you feel completely at peace. How is it possible for one person to be surrounded by people, yet feels completely empty, while another person is all alone and feels fulfilled? Because being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. Today, we'll be looking beyond the surface. Understanding the difference might completely change the way you see life, your relationship, and even yourself. Welcome to Perspective with Abiola, where we don't just look at life, but we look at life differently. One day I walked into a restaurant. There were a group of friends sitting together. At first glance, they looked, happy, but I later noticed that they were not talking to each other. They were all looking down at their phones. These are 6 people. One table, but doing different words, 6 different words. A few moments later, I noticed a man looking around his 50s. He sat alone. His phone was put away. He sat beside the window and he was, enjoying and appreciating the view. And I noticed that he was at peace. But that was when it hit me that being around people doesn't guarantee connection. And being alone doesn't automatically mean you're lonely. What does it mean to be alone? Being alone simply means you're all by yourself. That's it. But some of the greatest ideas in history were born in moments of solitude. A writer sits alone to write, and a student stays alone to prepare for exam. An entrepreneur spends nights and nights alone to build and plan that dream. A person heals alone. An athlete practices alone before they win a sport. Growth often happens in private places before they are being celebrated in public. Sometimes God uses our quiet seasons to prepare us for the noisy victory. So being alone is not a punishment. Most times it is a gift. Loneliness, on the other hand, is different. Loneliness is not the absence of people. Loneliness is the absence of genuine connection. Let me paint a picture of something that we see happen nowadays. Imagine a young lady in university. She has over 3,000 followers on her social media platforms. And she has 100 of students with her in the same lecture room. She uploads picture every weekend and people are saying, you're living your best life. But guess what? Every night she cries on her bed. Not because she's alone, but because she feels that nobody understands her. Nobody knows the struggles, the private struggles she's going through. And she feels very tired. Sometimes she can even say she's tired. People think that she's tired of work, but she's really tired of things happening around her. That's loneliness. Now imagine a rich businessman with expensive cars, expensive suits. People call him everywhere. They invite him to places. Then one day, his business crashes. And all of a sudden, the phones become silent. Nobody's calling him. And people around him just disappears. That's when he realizes that he's lonely. Loneliness sometimes hides behind the things we have. Why is loneliness gradually increasing? Do you know that we are the most connected generation in history? Yet, many people have never felt more disconnected. We have Wi-Fi's but weak relationships. We have thousands of followers, but no one to call when life falls apart. We react to people's posts, but we don't check on people. We know everyone's updates, but we don't know their life struggles. Note that technology has improved relationship. It has not come to replace genuine human connection. The biggest mistake most people make is that they are afraid of being lonely, that they accept unhealthy relationships. They stay where they are constantly disrespected. They are in friendships that only exist when they are giving. Or they get married because they don't want to stay or live alone. Okay, but here's the truth. It's better to be peacefully alone than painfully surrounded by the wrong set of people. Never allow your fear of loneliness make you settle for a relationship that costs you your peace. Come. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you sat quietly, without touching your phones, without the music, without your laptop, without the TV, just you and your thoughts, reflecting? Many people fear silence because it introduces us to ourselves. Sometimes we are a stranger to the person in the mirror. Some years ago, I used to feel like I was lonely. I used to say I'm very bored. I'm tired of everything happening around me. But over time, I realized I wasn't helping me because of the wrong decisions I was making. And I decided to reconnect with someone that could help. I also connected to mentorships that talks about growth mindset, and that basically shifted and changed my perspective. So I started spending time with family. I started enjoying my own company. If you see me now when I'm by myself, I so much enjoy my company. So let me share with you what helped me on how you can learn to enjoy your own company. And this means being comfortable with yourself. It all starts with self-love. Getting to know yourself, getting to ask yourself questions like, what makes me happy? What do I value? Who do I want to become? What kind of person do I want to become? Yeah. Who do I want to be remembered for? And this will help you get to know yourself better, because how would you enjoy your own company if you don't know who you are? Another one is discover a purpose bigger than you, like meaningful life goals, big dreams, yeah? And the next is intentionally put your phone away. You see, I said that slow, right? Because sometimes a lot of people reach out to their phone every time they're alone. So some days, maybe 5 hours or more in some days, I stay away from my phone, or it could be a whole day. It depends on the period. The next one is invest in yourself. That's so important. Read books, learn new skills, do exercises, write in a journal, take yourself on a walk, treat yourself the way you would want to treat that your very good friend. And lastly, build your relationship with God. This is so deep. For me, some of the most peaceful moments have come from spending quiet time in prayers and reading my Bible. Those moments remind me that even when I'm physically alone, I'm never truly alone. So note that the person you'll be spending the most time with for the rest of your life is you. So learn to enjoy your company. Let me leave you with this. Are you alone or are you lonely? Because they are not the same. Don't spend your time chasing crowds and clouds. Spend your time building real relationship with yourself. If this video makes you think differently, then yes, that's exactly why Perspective with Abiola was created for you. So would like to hear from you in the comments. The time you were alone or lonely. Your story might be what someone needs to read to know that they are not alone. Kindly like, subscribe, and share with someone that needs to hear this. So remember, the greatest transformations in life starts with a shift in perspective. Until next time, keep shining, keep growing, and be happy.